Social Security again, but it's about a different issue. So if Social Security were privatized, would it be mandatory for employees to contribute? And if so, how much? Likewise, would employers have to contribute to that type of plan? And if so, how much?
Where's Vito? Hi Vito. Thank you for your question. And it's a really hard one for me to answer because I don't believe that Social Security should be privatized. I think it's a program that was put in place for very important reasons so that we have a basic guarantee for people that if you work hard, you fall on hard times, or you retire, that you have some kind of income to sustain you. And I think it's key to maintaining Social Security is key to guaranteeing the basic economic rights and human rights of working people in this country. So I would be fundamentally opposed to the privatization of Social Security, and I would support an enactment of an economic bill of rights like what Roosevelt proposed that makes sure that things like Social Security and Medicare and health care and access to a job and access to education are there for all Americans, because sometimes we fall in hard times, and if we're going to take risks, if we're going to try to pursue our dreams and start a business or start a family, we need to make sure that there's something to fall back on if the business we try to start doesn't work out, for example, or if we have an accident. So I would be opposed to Social Security being privatized. I don't think it's something that needs to be profit-driven. I think it's something that needs to be need-driven. So I'm sorry I can't answer your question like you were hoping I would.
Thank you, Vito. To the best of my knowledge, there's a lot of options out there, a lot of plans out there about which way we'll proceed with Social Security. No options that I'm aware of that would call for complete privatization of Social Security. I think when it comes to Social Security, the issue is more of will we change eligibility age or change any of, Ursula talked about the tax on, and right now there's a cap on the income and the amount that's paid in Social Security. So those are all discussions. I think a couple of points, those discussions that are being had about how to strengthen Social Security are for those who are much younger. The promise to our seniors, the promise to those who are on the cusp or receiving Social Security is that we make sure that Social Security is alive and well. But I think as Americans, I keep wanting to go back to this economic power. The Medicare actuaries have told us Medicare is going to be bankrupt, but the Social Security advisors have also said Social Security is going to go bankrupt. That the government raided the Social Security trust. So when it comes to Social Security, when it comes to Medicare, I think the American people have to understand both programs are in trouble, and we as a nation have got to figure out how we're going to keep our commitment to seniors, make sure our seniors have what they deserve, what they've paid into, what they're counting on, but at the same time we've got to have a frank discussion about what are we going to do to strengthen these programs, to keep them alive, so when I'm ready to get Social Security or Medicare, or my kids or my grandkids, just like all of you, these programs are alive and well, and the reality of it is they're not well right now. And this nation doesn't have economic power. And I think I started out by saying if we can get the American people back to work, if we can get this economy going, it will help Social Security, it will help Medicare. But what we've seen Dan LaFay do is go around and inject fear into our seniors. Fear about Medicare, fear about the Republicans cutting Medicare and Social Security. That's not how you accomplish keeping these programs alive and well. That's not how you have a frank discussion as a family, as a nation that's committed to its seniors. You don't accomplish anything by that other than frightening seniors. And that's, I think, immoral. We've had so many seniors call our office about Medicare benefits, about Social Security benefits, and what they've heard. The commitment from my party, from me personally, is that I will fight to keep Medicare and Social Security alive and well for our seniors who are currently receiving those benefits, as well as for the generations to come. And I want to make sure everyone understands the commitment we have. I have a 91-year-old mother. I understand how she counts on that Social Security check, how she counts on those Medicare benefits. This is not a promise that we can break to ourselves.